Welcome to the FIA Formula 3 European Championship. Round 3 at the famous circuit of Pau in the foothills of the Pyrenees. Sunday's race will be the 73rd Pau Grand Prix. The city has a fabulous motorsport history. The FIA Formula 3 European Championship is the main event of the weekend, but a packed support programme means great on-track action from dawn till dusk and beyond. The first Grand Prix on the streets of Pau in the foothills of the Pyrenees was held in 1933. The stars of tomorrow are competing today in the third event of their season on one of the most beautiful and historic racetracks on the planet. And for most, it's a first time here. Mistakes and crashes are inevitable.
I think it is the Monaco from Formula 3.
It's not very forgiving. I mean, as the wall's very close, so if you make any mistakes, you know, it's more than likely that you end up in the wall with a damaged car.
Very tough track. You have to take a lot of curves. Really interesting.
It's fast and scary.
It feels a lot quicker than every other track, so even if the speed is a bit lower, when it's so narrow and so tight, it feels like the double speed.
Difficult, that's the main word.
For 17-year-old French rookie and championship leader Esteban Ocon, Pau represents a great opportunity to race on his home country and on a legendary track.
So everybody is here supporting me. It's really nice. I can see everybody speaking French, so I really like it. I enjoy it.
The crowd may have helped the Lotus Junior driver. Esteban produced the perfect qualifying result with pole for the first of the 3 races. He was delighted, and on hand, his mum and dad were too. Right behind him in P3 on the grid, Max Verstappen, the 16-year-old rookie, claimed victory at race 3 in Hockenheim, and this weekend the Dutchman faces another stern challenge, his very first street race.
Of course, you always want to be on pole position, especially on this track. But at the end, I think for the first time here and my first year in cars, I think it's still not too bad what we did today.
Max is son of former F1 driver Jos Verstappen.
I think he needs to gain as much experience as he can get. Also, you know, how to do a race on the street circuit. For sure, it will be very hard to overtake, but for sure he's looking for possibilities.
In free practice, Verstappen Jr. had a few problems, but now he looks in good shape, and he's the man to take us for a hot lap around the streets here at Pau.
Hello, my name is Max Verstappen. I race in the F3 European Championship with Van Amersfoort Racing, and here is one lap with me on the Pau circuit. Here you go around 235 on the straight line. Just before you go into turn 1, it's important to have late braking and a good exit next to the curb. And then here you go back on the straight line. I think you have a nice view of the Pau city. Here is important again in the middle of braking and then also late braking. Here you have a close exit to the wall, and also here late braking for the very slow hairpin in first gear. Make sure you are very close to the outside curb and also a good exit. This corner is easy flat, and then prepare yourself very well for the fast corner here. There's a little lift, and then I think you arrive to the best section of the track. You take full curb and you also feel the car moving a lot. Here, third gear corner, important to have good braking for this corner because it's very slow in first gear. Make sure you have a good exit, and here try to be very smooth in the chicane, and also for the last chicane, late braking, and also make sure you have a very good exit onto the straight line, and don't try to turn too much for the scrubbing the speed. And that's one lap of the post circuit.
So as Max Verstappen heads for the starting grid for race 1 of the weekend, a very familiar French face visiting the Formula 3 field in Pau, FIA President Jean Todt.
It's a lot of tradition in Pau, good atmosphere, and I'm delighted to be able to see the FIA Formula 3 Championship hosted as a key event of the weekend.
27 young drivers on the streets of Pau, eager to show that they're ready for great things. And ex-F1 team boss Todt has a few words of advice for the aspiring young stars of tomorrow.
Yeah, to choose a good team and to be disciplined, hard worker, humble, and learn. And if you have some talent on top of that, you will become a strong driver.
President of the FIA Single-Seater Commission, Gerhard Berger, is also visiting Pau. He wishes nephew Lucas Auer all the best for the race.
My name is Lucas Sauer, I'm 19 years old and I'm driving for Mikkel Motorsport. Yeah, I've raced from when I was 7 years old, did my first karting championship till I was 16, then I changed to the former BMW in Asia. I won there, I came back to Europe for the German Formula 3, where I got vice champion, and last year I was with Prima in the FIA Formula 3 Championship, and I got fourth in this year with Mikkel. Gerhard, we used to call after the race, and he helps me a bit. When I need something from him, he gives me some tips. And on some tracks, I mean, he has still a good line. Yeah, he tried to help me a lot. Yeah, Fernando Alonso, I think he's a very interesting person where I can learn a lot. I would say Fernando Alonso. Well, the FIA is pushing very hard for this championship, and I think Formula 3 used to be, back in the years, always a very important category for Formula drivers, and it is still like that. As you see, there are so many drivers. I think we have about 30 drivers, and really big names in there.
Well, Lucas will start in second place. The Austrian currently lying fourth in the championship, delivered in fine style at Hockenheim, celebrated his first win of 2014's Formula 3 European Championship season. Nerves as ever just before the start here on the streets of Pau. And there's trouble already for Nicholas Latifi. He heads straight into the pit lane after the warm-up lap, passing the other cars just on the left of your shot.
Yeah, well, at the start of the formation lap, I had a technical problem with my engine. So I pulled away, but there was just no power. So I had to pull off to the side of the track, do a full reset of the system. So I tried to go beside one driver. I guess he didn't see me as I was going along, and we crashed, and I damaged my suspension. So it's a real shame. I had a good starting position.
Well, his Prima Power team working hard to try and repair the car, but there's just not enough time. So the start of the race. Poleman Esteban Ocon on the right-hand side. Driver for the #1 car immediately moves to defend his lead into the first corner. And everybody gets off the grid safely. Well, the first corner is fast, but down at corner 3, there are waved yellows at the start of every race of the weekend to avoid crashes. Also at turn 4, the hairpin. But into the braking area, there is still a big crash. Well, here, coming under Virage de la Pont in the braking area, Alexander Toril flying over Mitch Gilbert, who celebrates his 20th birthday in a disappointing manner. And for the airborne Toril, it's a lucky escape.
When I arrived to corner 3 in the track, which is there is yellow flag because you cannot overtake there in the first lap. all the people were braking, I brake as well, but someone in the back pushed me in the back, he didn't brake, so he pushed his back into my back, he pushed his front, winning just under my back, so I was lift in the air. Then I tried to brake, but then I caught the car in front, and then I fly and have all the accident, and then I do the lap in the air, and then I land.
I was driving, there was double wave yellows, and then suddenly someone was over the top of me, so the way I see it was I couldn't do anything, just someone drove into me, so that's it, race over.
Inevitably, of course, the safety car is scrambled. Esteban Ocon, the race leader. Max Verstappen in third place as the debris is cleared up. Father Jos watching his young son behind the safety car. As they go green at the end of lap 2, Esteban Ocon leading. Lucas Auer under pressure from Max Verstappen. Verstappen in the tow up the hill. Looking to try and make the pass for second spot. Virage Dupont is a tough place to pass. Up to the hairpin. Mistake from Auer. Inside. And there's just a little bit of wheel-to-wheel rubbing.
I braked myself out and he was next to me. So it was for a moment quite tight, but at the end, you know, nobody of us wanted to crash. So he lifted, he made the right decision, wouldn't make it around the next corner. So everything good.
After that, you know, you can't overtake. On a normal track, you have some more space and you can try in the outside. But here it's really difficult to do that.
Safety car is scrambled again for the number 8, Michele Beretta.
It was a fast corner and I lost the rear of the car and I didn't control it. And I hit the wall with the rear right and then with the rear front, and I mean, just it.
Restart going green at the end of lap 15. Good restart this time for Lucas Auer in second place, piling the pressure on the race leader as Jake Dennis holds off Carlin teammate Jordan King right behind.
The second time was quite good for me. I was on the back of Ocon, but you know, I was on the outside for the first turn. You can't risk, it's too high risk to make something. So it was better for me to keep my second place.
It's difficult to overtake at Pau. Normally you have to force a mistake from the driver in front. In the midfield, they don't seem to have realised that that was the rule. There was passing going on. Too many mistakes, perhaps. As the checker flag came out, Esteban Ocon had eased away. He won the first of the 3 races in Pau. Lucas Auer in second place, Max Verstappen in third, relaxing towards the line. Primo Power Team celebrating Ocon's 3rd victory of the season. Well, Jake Dennis held on to 4th ahead of Carlin teammate Jordan King, with Felix Sorales taking 6th.
It was a great race. I did a good job, I think. I missed a bit the start, so I had to close directly on Lucas. Then the safety car came in. I did a good restart, and another safety car came in. I didn't do a good restart as the first one, but yeah, I could keep him behind.
So he and the Primo Power Team very happy. And the Frenchman delighted to receive his trophy from fellow Frenchman and FIA President Jean Todt. Well, stay with us, lots more action to come as the wet weather arrives at Spa. FIA Formula 3 European Championship action continues.